a nation where the riches of oil changed everyday life, where education and healthcare were available to everyone at no cost, and newlywed couples received a home as a gift from the government. Famous for its expansive deserts, ancient heritage, and one of the most polarizing leaders of the 20th century, Libya is also home to fascinating stories, like the mysterious all-female bodyguard unit known as the Amazonian Guard. Libya stands apart from every other Islamic nation on the African continent. Stick around, because you're about to uncover a side of Libya that rarely makes it into the headlines. During the rule of Muammar Gaddafi, Libya experienced a period unlike any other on the African continent. With his bold vision and resistance to Western influence, Gaddafi transformed the country into one of Africa's most prosperous nations. At its peak, Libya had some of the highest per capita income and life expectancy rates in the region. Under Gaddafi's leadership, essential services were viewed as fundamental rights. Education, healthcare, and electricity were all provided free of charge to the population. Libyans enjoyed access to one of Africa's top healthcare systems, where hospitals, clinics, and medicines were available to everyone without cost. Driving this remarkable development was Libya's enormous oil wealth. The country holds the largest oil reserves in Africa and is ranked among the top 10 globally. Oil and natural gas exports made up nearly 3/4 of Libya's national revenue. Although the industry employed only about 1/10 of the workforce, it was the backbone of the economy, with most exports sent to European markets. By the year 2024, Libya's oil reserves were estimated to be around 50 billion barrels. For Libyans, starting a life in agriculture came with generous government support. Citizens were provided with a house, farmland, livestock, and seeds, all completely free of charge. Transportation was also made accessible. When buying a car, Libyans only needed to pay half the price, as the government covered the other half. With fuel costing as little as 14 cents per liter, getting around was affordable for most people. Employment opportunities were another focus. Graduates who struggled to find work received a government salary based on their area of study, ensuring that young Libyans didn't face financial difficulties immediately after completing their education. Newlyweds also benefited, receiving a free apartment or house to help them begin their new lives without the burden of housing costs. In addition, education and healthcare were fully funded, allowing citizens to access schools, hospitals, and clinics without any financial stress. The government encouraged higher education by providing up to $2,500, along with accommodation expenses for students studying abroad. These measures helped raise living standards across the country, creating a society where basic needs were met and poverty or homelessness were rare. With these extensive support systems in place, Libya stood out as a unique and appealing place for many. If you find Libya as fascinating as we do, share your thoughts in the comments and say, "I love Libya." Libya's economic strength is deeply tied to its vast oil reserves. The country holds the largest oil reserves in Africa and ranks among the top 10 globally. Unlike many nations, Libya refrained from seeking financial aid from the International Monetary Fund or the World Bank. Muammar Gaddafi was steadfast in his goal to keep Libya debt-free, reflecting his vision of a self-reliant and sovereign state. In a bold move, Gaddafi chose to sell oil in exchange for gold, rather than traditional currencies like the US dollar or euro. This strategy, both symbolic and pragmatic, set Libya apart from global financial norms and put it in direct opposition to Western economic systems. By doing so, Libya asserted itself as more than just an oil exporter. It became a challenger to the established global financial order. The oil industry played a critical role in driving Libya's economy, contributing a significant portion of national revenue and making up the majority of the country's exports. By the year 2024, Libya ranked 17th worldwide in oil production, establishing itself as a key supplier to energy-dependent regions like Europe. Did you know that Muammar Gaddafi's elite team of female bodyguards, famously known as the Amazonian Guard, was not only a cornerstone of his public image, but also an integral part of his personal security? The selection process for this team was unbelievably rigorous, and we're about to uncover all the details. But before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got plenty of fascinating stories coming your way. The exclusive female bodyguard team of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi underwent rigorous training, overseen by none other than his wife, Safiya Farkash Gaddafi. To qualify for this elite group, women had to demonstrate exceptional dedication and professionalism. Gaddafi believed these women acted as a protective charm, bringing him both luck and safety. While Western media often criticized Gaddafi, likening his lifestyle to the luxury of royalty, his supporters admired the distinctive image of the guard. These female bodyguards, dressed in striking blue or pale yellow military uniforms, paired with red berets, became an iconic symbol of Gaddafi's public persona. The team was named the Amazonian Guard, a title Gaddafi chose to celebrate the strength and athletic beauty of North African women. The Amazonian Guard always consisted of 40 highly skilled women. They were impeccably dressed in their uniforms and frequently rotated to ensure top performance. These bodyguards were a constant presence by Gaddafi's side and became an integral part of his carefully curated media image. Surprisingly, the team was not exclusively Libyan. Some members came from neighboring Arab countries such as Tunisia, Lebanon, and Syria, with most receiving their training at the Tripoli Women's Military Academy. These guards endured extremely rigorous training to prepare for their roles. Despite the demanding nature of their work, they were encouraged to maintain a polished, professional appearance with the option to wear makeup, jewelry, and feminine attire when appropriate. The guards were deeply loyal to Gaddafi, with many openly expressing admiration for him. Some even pledged their lives to his protection and refrained from marriage while serving in the role. For his part, Gaddafi frequently praised the skills and bravery of his virgin guards in public speeches, showing immense pride in their capabilities. Do you see the Amazonian Guard as a symbol of female empowerment, or do you view it as a reflection of Gaddafi's eccentricity and control? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Muammar Gaddafi, whose full name was Muammar Mohammed Abu Munir Gaddafi, remains one of the most talked about figures of the modern era. His rise to power began in the year 1969, when, at just 27 years old, he led a peaceful coup that reshaped Libya's political landscape. Over the next 4 decades, Gaddafi's leadership would leave a profound impact on Libya's identity and garner global attention. He ruled Libya from 1970 until 2011, when he was eventually overthrown. His life came to an end in October 2011 in his hometown of Sirte, marking the close of an era of distinct governance. Gaddafi's time as leader was defined by his strong opposition to Western influence and intervention. This defiance frequently placed him in direct conflict with global powers, particularly the United States and European nations. One of the most well-known moments of this tension came when U.S. President Ronald Reagan famously referred to Gaddafi as the mad dog of the Middle East. Gaddafi's resistance to Western dominance extended beyond rhetoric. His policies and actions often challenged traditional global power structures, positioning Libya as a unique and independent player in North Africa and the broader Muslim world. Economically, Gaddafi amassed extraordinary wealth. At the time of his death, he was considered one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. Estimates suggested his net worth may have reached nearly $200 billion. To put this into perspective, his fortune was said to rival or even surpass the combined wealth of prominent billionaires like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and Carlos Slim. This immense wealth was both a source of fascination and controversy, adding complexity to his already enigmatic legacy. Yet, Gaddafi's influence was not defined by wealth or politics alone. During his rule, he implemented various social policies that many Libyans still remember positively. His vision for Libya emphasized independence, self-sufficiency, and unity among Arab nations. However, his leadership style was often criticized as highly authoritarian. His ideological beliefs were outlined in the Green Book, a work that blended elements of socialist and nationalist ideas. It aimed to balance traditional values with Gaddafi's vision of direct governance, creating a framework for his revolutionary approach to leadership. Since the leadership change in 2011, Libya has entered a period of significant political transition. The country is navigating a complex political landscape with 2 administrations operating in different regions, both striving for stability and progress. In the West, Prime Minister Abdulhamid Deiba leads the Government of National Unity, or GNU, based in Tripoli, Libya's capital. Established in 2021 as part of a United Nations-supported initiative, the GNU was designed as a transitional government with plans to hold national elections. However, a variety of challenges and ongoing negotiations have delayed the election process, making the GNU's mission more complicated. Despite being internationally recognized, this administration continues to face the daunting task of unifying diverse regional factions. In contrast, eastern Libya is governed by a separate administration under Prime Minister Osama Hamid and the House of Representatives. This administration also manages much of southern Libya, a region known for its rich cultural heritage and stunning natural landscapes. General Khalifa Haftar, a prominent figure in the east, wields considerable influence in the region, bolstered by the support of several international allies, which adds a global dimension to Libya's current journey. Libya's vast and diverse geography poses significant challenges for both governance and logistics. About 90% of the nation is covered by the Sahara Desert, a sprawling expanse of rugged highlands and towering sand dunes. This ocean of sand features awe-inspiring natural landmarks such as the Sahara Highlands near the Libya-Chad border, home to the country's tallest peak, and the Al-Harouj Al-Aswad volcanic plateau. These breathtaking landscapes not only showcase Libya's natural diversity but also play an essential role in shaping its identity. Amid these complexities, Libya's ancient history serves as a unifying thread and a source of cultural pride. For adventurers and history enthusiasts, Tripoli, located along the Mediterranean coast, acts as a gateway to this rich heritage. Known in Arabic as Tarabulus al-Gharb, Tripoli offers a glimpse into Libya's story through its historic architecture and picturesque coastal views. Just 60 kilometers west of the city lies the ancient Roman city of Sabratha, home to remarkable ruins and mosaics that vividly reflect the depth of Libya's cultural legacy. These historic sites along Libya's coastline are testaments to the enduring cultural significance and resilience that continue to inspire a shared sense of identity. Libya's brief and unique monarchy is remembered through the reign of a single king. King Idris I, Libya's first and only monarch, ruled from the nation's independence in 1951 until his deposition in 1969. His story is deeply tied to Libya's journey from colonial domination to its emergence as an independent nation, blending political and religious significance. Before becoming king, Idris was a spiritual leader born into the influential Senussi order. This religious movement, prominent in North Africa, emphasized unity, reform, and spirituality, playing a critical role in shaping Libyan society during the colonial era. Idris initially served as the Emir of Cyrenaica, a historic region in eastern Libya, before ascending to the throne. His coronation in 1951 marked a significant milestone, the end of colonial rule and the birth of Libya as an independent kingdom. However, while King Idris symbolized a new beginning for Libya, his conservative leadership style struggled to gain widespread popularity. He was seen as a traditionalist, cautious in his approach to governance, which contrasted with the rapid modernization and reforms sweeping through neighboring Arab nations. This approach did not resonate with the younger generation, who were eager for change and reform. By the late 1960s, dissatisfaction with his leadership grew, particularly among younger military officers who viewed him as disconnected from Libya's evolving identity and aspirations. In 1969, while King Idris was abroad receiving medical treatment, a government led by Colonel Muammar Gaddafi took power, marking the start of a new chapter in Libya's history. King Idris spent the rest of his life in exile, witnessing from afar the dramatic transformations that reshaped his homeland. Despite his deposition, his legacy remained significant, representing the country's first steps towards self-governance and independence. His reign stands as a pivotal moment in Libya's history, where tradition intersected with the desire for progress and change. Libya is widely recognized today as a predominantly Muslim country, but its history also carries deep ties to Christianity. These connections trace back to two significant figures in biblical tradition, Simon of Cyrene and St. Mark. Simon of Cyrene, a man from the ancient Libyan city of Cyrene, played a memorable role in Christian history. He was called upon to help carry Jesus' cross on the journey to Golgotha, an event that holds profound significance in the Bible. Though his story is brief, it establishes a powerful link between Libya and one of the most pivotal moments in Christian tradition. Cyrene itself was once a flourishing city, serving as both a spiritual and cultural hub that connected North Africa to the early Christian world. Another key figure tied to Libya's Christian heritage is St. Mark. Known for writing the Gospel of Mark, he is credited with founding the Church of Alexandria in Egypt around 49 AD. This event marked the beginning of many Eastern Christian traditions, including the Coptic and Greek Orthodox churches. Over time, these traditions extended their influence into Libya, leaving a lasting mark on the country's cultural and religious history. Even in a predominantly Islamic society, these churches continue to reflect a unique thread of Christian heritage that remains a part of Libya's story. Despite its vast oil wealth, Libya faces significant challenges when it comes to food production. Between 75 and 80% of the food consumed in Libya is imported. This heavy dependency is largely due to its natural environment. Libya is situated in the heart of the Sahara Desert, where scorching temperatures, scarce rainfall, and poor soil make farming extremely difficult. The arid climate severely limits the country's ability to produce enough crops to sustain its population, leaving it reliant on imports to meet its food needs. To address this critical issue, former Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi launched one of the most ambitious irrigation projects in history, the Great Man-Made River Project. This groundbreaking initiative aimed to revolutionize Libya's agricultural potential by providing a dependable water source in one of the driest places on Earth. The project spans nearly 1,750 miles, creating an extensive underground network of pipes designed to transport water from ancient aquifers buried deep beneath the Sahara Desert to the more populated coastal regions and farmlands. Even with this monumental effort, Libya's dependence on imported food remains high. Factors such as population growth, economic instability, and occasional disruptions to the irrigation system continue to affect the country's food security. While the Great Man-Made River Project stands as a testament to Libya's determination to overcome its environmental challenges, the reality is that the nation still heavily relies on the global food market to meet the needs of its people. Libya's cultural landscape is a rich and intricate tapestry, shaped by centuries of diverse influences and a blend of ethnic communities. Positioned as a bridge between Africa and the Arab world, Libya's population reflects this unique geographic and cultural crossroads. Historically, Libya's earliest known inhabitants were the Amazigh people, also called Berbers, an indigenous group with deeply rooted traditions. Major Amazigh communities such as the Luwata, Nifusa, and Adassa are concentrated in coastal oases where they have practiced settled farming for generations. While many Berbers have gradually integrated into Arab society, some communities, particularly in the Nifusa highlands, Ajala, Hun, Sakra, and Zua, have preserved their distinct cultural identity. Amazigh languages belong to the Afro-Asiatic family, and although their writing once relied on ancient scripts, today they primarily use the Arabic alphabet, demonstrating their adaptability. Adding to Libya's cultural diversity is a significant number of migrant workers, primarily from sub-Saharan Africa. These migrants, often residing in Libya temporarily, are drawn by opportunities in sectors like oil and construction. Despite the contributions of these communities, Libya's vast desert geography and tribal social structure mean its population is widely dispersed. Tribal affiliations remain a vital part of Libyan life, playing a central role in organizing communities and preserving age-old customs. One of the defining traits of Libyan society is its strong emphasis on hospitality and generosity. According to recent surveys, nearly 72% of Libyans express a willingness to help others, even strangers. This spirit of kindness is woven into daily life, evident in social gatherings, traditional celebrations, and the enduring folk culture that continues to thrive across the country. With only about 4 people per square kilometer, Libya is one of the least densely populated countries in the world. Few nations, such as Canada, Suriname, Guyana, Iceland, Australia, Namibia, and Mongolia, have a lower population density. Although Libya ranks as the 17th largest country by area, its vast expanse is predominantly uninhabited desert, giving the landscape an air of emptiness. This low population density is largely due to Libya's harsh natural environment. The majority of the country is blanketed by the Sahara Desert, a region characterized by extreme heat, scarce rainfall, and arid soil, making survival difficult. As a result, nearly 90% of Libya's population resides within a narrow coastal strip no more than 50 kilometers from the Mediterranean Sea. This region offers relatively moderate weather conditions and access to fertile land, which are crucial for agriculture, settlement, and development. Despite the population's concentration along the coast, less than 1% of Libya's total land is suitable for farming. This severe shortage of arable land limits where communities can thrive. The rest of the country's interior is a vast, unforgiving desert where temperatures often reach extreme levels, and the land produces little to no vegetation. In Libya, tea is much more than just a drink. It's a cultural ritual that showcases the country's passion for bold flavors and timeless traditions. Libyan tea, often prepared by women, stands out for its thick, dark consistency, resembling black syrup due to the generous use of tea leaves and sugar. Its strong, intense flavor makes it unique and distinct from ordinary teas. The process of preparing Libyan tea is a careful and deliberate tradition. It starts with adding large scoops of loose tea leaves, followed by a generous amount of sugar. Water is then poured in, and the mixture is allowed to boil slowly for 20 to 30 minutes. This unhurried boiling process deepens the flavors, resulting in a tea that is rich, dense, and aromatic. Once ready, the tea is served in small Pyrex glasses, emphasizing its dark color and fragrant aroma. To complete the experience, Libyan tea is often paired with traditional snacks like sumac, a tangy and savory seasoning made from dried berries, and khobaza, a type of Libyan bread. The sweetness of the tea perfectly complements these savory flavors, creating a balanced and satisfying combination. This tradition of preparing and sharing tea is a cornerstone of Libyan hospitality, embodying warmth, community, and an authentic taste of Libyan culture. Libya's human history spans tens of thousands of years, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited regions in North Africa. Archaeological discoveries, such as the UNESCO-listed rock art sites of Downright, Idris, reveal evidence of human life dating back to around 12,000 BC. These extraordinary rock carvings, etched into the sandstone of southwestern Libya's desert, depict a world vastly different from the arid landscapes we see today. They feature scenes of wildlife, human activity, and daily life, offering a fascinating glimpse into a time when the region was lush, green, and full of life. By approximately 2000 BC, the Amazigh people, also known as the Berbers, became the region's dominant inhabitants. Recognized as Libya's indigenous population, the Amazigh have their own distinct language, traditions, and social systems, many of which continue to influence Libyan culture today. Their presence predates many of the civilizations that would later shape the area, cementing their role as a foundational part of Libya's history. Libya's strategic position along the Mediterranean coast attracted numerous ancient civilizations, each leaving its unique mark. In the 7th century BC, the Phoenicians established settlements in the region now known as Tripolitania, drawn by opportunities for trade. However, their control was short-lived. By the 6th century BC, the powerful Phoenician colony of Carthage took over, expanding its influence across the region. In 74 BC, the Romans arrived and conquered Libya, incorporating it into the vast Roman Empire. Under Roman rule, Libya flourished, especially in cities like Leptis Magna and Sabratha. These cities became significant centers of trade and culture, showcasing grand architecture, amphitheaters, and intricate mosaics. Today, they stand as some of the best preserved Roman sites in North Africa, offering a testament to the grandeur of an era that continues to captivate the imagination. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.